spiritualist and health coach. And I am the hostess of the Reclaiming Wellness live broadcast with you every week on YouTube. So it looks like I'm still adjusting. Yes, I'm now live. So, yes, thank you so much once again. This is Jovanka from jovankaciares.com, and I am here every single day this week for the next 8 or 9 days to read a little bit of an excerpt about the Reclaiming Wellness book and encourage you to reclaim some of these practices of your ancestry. So for those of you who don't know, the book is an exploration of the very popular wellness practices today and their multicultural roots. And the idea is that if you get to learn the history of these amazing wellness practices and you get to see the modern data and scientific studies that prove how effective they are, then you can fall in love with them, reclaim the wellness practices of your ancestry that are part of your birthright, and with it, reclaim your natural state of wellness. So every day I'm going to come and talk about a particular chapter. Today's chapter 1. So I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see myself, and I can read an excerpt of the book. And so this particular chapter is chapter number 1, and it's wellness is not just for the privileged few. So I'm just reading just a minute worth of information, and it says, ideally, wellness is how we unlock and access the full potential lying within. This isn't about following lifestyle rules to a T, but rather understanding our choices and owning them. We will certainly encounter roadblocks during this process, and that's to be expected. Pursuing wellness with an all or nothing attitude is a non-stop ticket to frustration and failure. Instead, if we accept ourselves and trust the natural process, things will slowly fall into place. Wellness is about creating balance and strengthening the connection between our physical, mental, and spiritual selves. As a result, what we do to achieve wellness will vary depending on what is needed, more attention at any particular time. For instance, if our spiritual life is strong, but our physical activity isn't, then we might find balance by focusing more on our physical self while continuing to strengthen all other parts that make us who we are. So, sorry, I just choked there for a second. So this particular chapter is about how a lot of people, especially people of color, especially, I hear it from Latinos, I hear it from Black people, I hear it from the immigrants, I hear it from people that are considered people in lower socioeconomic backgrounds that will tell me, I need to have a lot more money to embrace yoga or do, eat more plants or eat organic or that kind of stuff. Or they will tell me, I've gone to these classes or these conferences and I feel out of place. I feel like nobody looks like me. Everybody sort of looks a certain way and they're kind of talking to one another. And I don't feel, welcomed in these spaces. And to that I say, look, I hear you. I know exactly how you felt or how you feel right now, because that's how I felt at some point, where I would go to a yoga studio and I was the only brown person there. I often go to conferences where I am one of a few Black people and certainly one of very few Latinas. But I knew how important this information was to me and how these practices were powerful. So I wanted to stay in the space. And then eventually I realized, in order for us to feel comfortable, we need to do one of two things. Continue to get excited and encourage other people that look and sound like us to also embrace these practices so that the spaces start looking more heterogeneous, or bring the practices to us. And that's what I've been doing with the Reclaiming Wellness educational initiative, is going out in the world and giving classes and lectures for free or very low cost to anybody that wants to hear about them, because I believe this information is ours. It's part of our birthright. We deserve to have access to this information, and we deserve to incorporate them for our own well-being. So we don't need to wait until our bodies are truly falling apart and then we have to go to a doctor and it will cost us thousands of dollars and a lot of pain and suffering to get our bodies back to health. So it is critical that you learn that these wellness practices are not just for the privileged, that all of us can get to enjoy them for our benefit. So, what I'd like you to do is to find a copy of the book everywhere books are sold and read that first chapter. If you have time, ideally today, it is a very easy read. I mean, each chapter is no more than 20 pages. The entire book is 240, 250 pages. It is designed for those people who will tell me, I don't have time to read, I don't have time to incorporate things. It is just easy for you to just use them, find ways to use them. This is chapter 1, so you literally have nothing to do other than read. That is your only homework. And if you are enjoying what you are reading, please tag me on social media at Jovanka Ciares, or you can just use the hashtag reclaiming wellness so I get to see what you're doing and engage with you and answer any questions that you might have. I'll be back here tomorrow to share another chapter and a little bit of homework. I think the next one is about plants because you know how much I love my plants and how to incorporate them in a very easy, very inexpensive way into your wellness routine. Thank you so much for having. If you love this, please share this video with everybody in your community all over the internet. Make sure that you ask questions and share your comments below. And make sure that you subscribe for more tips and a jolt of motivation for your healthy, happy, and